Parliament resumes this morning in Ottawa as our elected officials get back to work, and that includes the Secretary of State for Rural Development, Buckley Belanger, who joins us now this morning. Welcome to your morning.
Good morning, Daryl, and good morning to all your listeners out there in CTV land.
It's a very busy day for you. You are the lone representative for the Liberal Party in this province, an elected official. What are your priorities for this upcoming session, Buckley?
Well, obviously, there's a lot of pressure points that we've recently been engaged with. Everything from the forest fire situation to the canola tariffs and, of course, the challenges around housing. There's a lot of work being done to look at the whole issue around crime. So there's our agenda is fairly full. We've had a very busy summer, but by and large, we've got a lot of work ahead of us, and we're certainly making every effort to try and meet some of the issues that concern Canadians, and in my case, the Saskatchewan people as well.
Buckley, the Premier of this province, is heading to China to try to get those canola tariffs gone or at least reduced. What is your government doing on that file right now?
Well, as you know, the Prime Minister is front and center in a lot of the discussions as it pertains to world trade, and our Prime Minister's got a lot of experience in that regard. He's got a great team of ministers that accompany him and of course, support him as well. And I would say that it's great to see premiers do the work as well. So I commend Premier Moe for that effort. But clearly, I think the Prime Minister, by sending his parliamentary secretary with the Premier to China to talk about these matters, I think it was very important that the provincial or federal government send a representative to signal to the Chinese government that we're all in this effort together. And I think both Premier Moe and our parliamentary secretary certainly deserve a lot of credit for going on that trip and representing the canola interest in the whole trade matters that's out there.
Has there been any conversations in your caucus about just removing the EV tariffs on Chinese vehicles to further this thing along? It seems like a pretty simple fix if you're a farmer out in Elbow, Saskatchewan this morning.
Well, something that's really, really important, I think, for the people of Saskatchewan to be aware as it pertains to EV vehicle. I'm going to defer that particular question to folks that are leading or I shouldn't say folks, but the ministers that are leading that particular file. All I would say back from my perspective is that you look at the whole issue around the world trade, there's so many things that moving each and every day. And as I mentioned earlier, the Prime Minister with a team of very capable ministers are managing and representing us on that particular stage to try and ensure that the Canadian interests are being maintained. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, these matters change every hour. So I'm going to leave it to the Prime Minister and that very impressive team to respond to the EV situation, other than to say that, from my perspective, we look at the opportunity attached to EV and some of the environmental benefit, the employment it creates for Canada, the choice it gives Canadians across Canada. From my perspective, back home in Saskatchewan, I drive a Ford, and I got a Chev, and I got a Skidoo, and I got a boat. And these all are combustion engines. So as you look at the emerging value around EV market, I'm not going to debate this on, of course, the international stage, but there are some pros and cons to how the EV industry is developing for Canada.
Of course, Minister. And we're all out of time. I do want to thank you for your time. Good luck in Parliament today as session opens, and we'll talk to you again very soon.
Thank you very much.